How's it going, guys? Manny Nicky here. Just wrapping up another day at the shop at Nicky Performance, and today I got a Chrysler product on the dyno. I'm spinning around here behind me. I'm walking towards the dyno, so just finished this up tonight. This customer brought this car to us with the parts already installed. So it already has headers, already had a supercharger installed on it. So let's walk over here and check this thing out. So yeah, again, 2007 Charger SRT8. So that is a 6.1 liter, the earlier SRT8 6.1, and it's got a Whipple supercharger on it, and it's got a set of SLP headers on it, and that's pretty much it. Pretty basic bolt-on Hemi car here. But so this car came to us with what the customer was describing as a smoking problem. So he had been told by some other shops that it needed an engine, which can be believable. These Hemis don't take boost super well if you're not nice to them. You got to be gentle on them. The pistons have a really thin ringland on the top, and they can't take a lot of abuse on pump gas. So, but anyway, so he brought it in. We checked it out. We didn't see any smoking. We did leak down. We did compression. I scoped the cylinders with a borescope and didn't see anything going on. The only thing we really found is, well, two things. First thing, a lot of oil in the intake tract. So Whipple gives you this nifty little oil separator, which works pretty well, but it was allowing enough oil to actually get into the intake. And when we took this boot off, obviously there was oil puddled in here. I mean, that's pretty common on, you start, boosting a non-boosted engine, and you get a little bit of oil pushed back through, and that's what was going on. So what we're actually going to do on this car is we're going to put a catch can on it to supplement this oil separator. So we'll put a catch can in line so it'll catch that oil, and that should help solve that oil issue, getting oil in the intake. The other thing we found was the tune was extremely rich, and when I say extremely rich, normally on a supercharged car we run air-fuel ratios just kind of a broad range on pump gas, 11.5 to 12 to 1. 12 to 1 being on the leaner side, depending on what kind of car and compression and stuff like that. These Dodges, I like running a mid-11s, point lambdas of 0.80, something like that. This car the lambda was 0.775 down to 0.72 even. I mean, we're talking pig rich. So that was also causing some smoking. When you roll onto it, there was so much fuel coming through the engine and getting burned, you start getting kind of a grayish black smoke coming out of the tailpipes, and he was also seeing that. So I got this thing dialed in. I did 5 or 6 pulls on it. I leaned it out a little bit. I smoothed the timing curve out. The timing curve was a little bit jagged. So I got that smoothed out, smoothed the power curve out a little bit. The other thing that most of these positive displacement, the screw blowers and the PD blowers like a Magnuson, they usually ship with there's like a little restrictor pill on the bypass valve, and that's for when you roll onto the throttle, it will slow the oncoming of the boost down. And what I usually do is just take those and I just drill them out. I take a real small drill bit and drill them out, like a 16-inch drill bit, drill them out, just so it snaps that bypass, sorry, long day, bypass valve shut a little quicker, comes into boost a little quicker. Car feels a little more responsive that way. So I also did that, and when I bring the dynograph up off this last pull, I can show you the very first pull we did when we strapped it down, kind of the baseline after we determined the engine was healthy. So I'm going to set the camera down here. I'm going to walk over here, put the camera down, and we'll do another pull and we'll see what happens. guys, let's check this graph out here. Walk right over to the dyno screen. So it looks like 579 horsepower at the tires and 558 foot-pounds of torque. So pretty nice curve. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. That type of power is really, that's really about the limit we like to take these normally aspirated Hemis to, the 5.7s, the 6.1s, and the 6.4s. We really don't like pushing them 600 or even past 600 on pump gas 91 or 93. This guy's into an area where there's not always 93 octane. So again, we could, anything that I'm tuning, there's always room for a smidge more if you're really pushing it right to the limit, but we don't let stuff leave the shop like that. We're always slightly conservative on stuff. Obviously, we want to make a number, we want to make horsepower. That's what we're here for. But we don't push it right to the ragged edge. So there's probably another degree of timing in there I could put in. We can take a look at the log actually. Pull that key. So yeah, so I'm looking at that. So down there, my yellow line, that's my lambda reading. You can see I got that real nice and flat, 0.81, 0.80, 0.81. Timing, 17 degrees. Boost comes up. I've dropped the boost just a little bit at the top there, just because the boost with these Whipples, the boost will kind of climb. You can see there, 138 kPa right on the hit, 2,500 RPM. And we're climbing to about 162, 63. That's 8.5 pounds of boost. So that's right where we're going to be again. On a normally aspirated, 5.7, 6.1, 6.4s, that's really, with a car with headers, that's really all we take them to. I know there's guys out there on E85 pushing these stock bottom ends way further than this, but we don't let stuff leave like that. We want to be very conservative. We like tuning stuff so guy can leave, he can drive this car around for years to come, and he won't ever have an issue. So that's our goal. That's how we build stuff. So I'm really happy with that. That log looks really good to me. I'm taking this car up to 61, 6200. That's about where the shift point is on the stock car. I'm not really going to adjust anything from there. This guy doesn't drag race it. It's just a cruiser for him. He likes to say he's got the horsepower. Say he's got that supercharger. So cruises around the street, gets on it here and there. So I don't need to adjust the shift point. So I'm just going to leave them where they're at. But yeah, you can see I'm going to bring up an earlier run. I can find it here. This always, I don't remember the dyno here. This eludes me. There we go. So that was how it came in. So you can see how the way that boost was not coming on. So down here, this was the original run. This is the very first run I did. We strapped it down and I warmed it up and did a pull, and that's what it was. So with fixing that bypass valve restrictor, I mean the torque gain there was like 150 foot-pounds we gained down the bottom end. So he'll feel that for sure when he rolls onto the throttle and that bypass valve shuts. Once you get about half, 60% throttle, that bypass valve shuts and the boost starts ramping in. He'll feel it instead of having to wait for it. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll from here, yeah, we're going to do a couple little things for him. We're going to do that catch can and throw some fresh plugs in it, and he's going to be on his way, and he's going to be a happy camper for sure. So until next time, guys, yeah, thanks for watching.